The Repair Lot, a one-stop shop where a crack team of experts bring classic cars roaring back to life.
20 years and it's fired up.
Is it then? Hey?
No job is too tough, no car too challenging.
No, I've truly never seen a car like this. It's amazing.
Award-winning motoring journalist Charlie is meeting the owners.
Aaron, welcome to the workshop.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
And assessing how to keep their drives alive.
Immediately, that steering column is juddering up and down, isn't it?
Together with old and new school mechanics Derek and Hannah.
Hey.
That's really good, isn't it?
Result.
Yeah.
Freya the trimmer.
Right, that's all the stitching done. I'm really happy with that.
And Bodywork specialist Jerry Lee.
It brings the whole car together. It really, really looks nice.
The team are on a mission
Oh, wow, it looks so different.
to put any classic in any condition back on the road.
Absolutely fantastic.
This time, the team tackle a dangerous fault on Gemma's 50s Ford.
When you're braking, they lock up on one of the front sides.
Mechanic Hannah isn't impressed.
So there's a lot of movement in that where there shouldn't be.
And Trim Supremo Freya faces a tough transformation.
I can see that the carpet's completely shot to pieces.
Cameron's rare custom Toyota needs big repairs.
It had some sort of crash.
Bodywork expert Jerry Lee discovers hidden damage.
They've tried to repair it, but not very well, sadly.
And a trash dash proves a major mission.
It's just not sitting where I want it to.
Can the repair lot get Gemma's car safely back on the road?
Oh.
And deliver a custom job for Cameron?
It's going to be quite tricky, isn't it? So the team
Yeah.
really have got their work cut out.
Gemma, a big fan of the vintage lifestyle, is heading towards the repair lot in her 1955 Ford Popular. She needs the team's help to make her totally original classic safe for modern roads. At the workshop, car assessor Charlie is keen to hear Gemma's story, scope out the jobs on the car and see what makes it pop.
Wow. Gemma, nice to
Hi.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming down to the workshop.
You're welcome.
This is such a cracking looking car.
It is.
Looks pretty original. I'm used to seeing these hot rodded up.
It is. It hasn't really had any modifications done to it at all. It's just been kept as original as possible. There's been a few adaptations, I'm sure, over the years, as it's nearly 70 years old. But compared to most of them that you see nowadays, it is one of the more original ones. So a couple of things on it you know, they've been through the wars, getting a bit aged now, so it's starting to look a little bit worn out, but we're trying to keep it as clean and tidy as possible.
What is it about the car that you like so much?
I just love that it's so original, it's pretty basic compared to a lot of other vehicles, but the main feature for it is the fact that I can take my children out in it.
Oh, brilliant. How many kids have you got?
I've got two. I've got a 7-year-old daughter who absolutely loves the car, so we call it Poppy. So she always says to me, Mummy, can we go out in Poppy? And then I've got a 2-year-old little boy, so naturally, being a boy, cars is a massive interest to him. But the fact that he can actually get in one and, you know, we can go for a little drive in it is brilliant.
What kind of places do you take the car?
So we tend to take it to classic car shows. Sometimes they're just day events, sometimes they're weekend events. There's always 50s music playing as well, which is a huge part of my life, my childhood. Love all the music. And there's quite often people that are dressed in the era from where the cars are from as well. So you sometimes get to see the old sort of Grease-themed styles, you know, which is pretty cool for the kids to see.
The perky Popular lived up to its name, a cheap and cheerful saloon that got Britain on the roads. Creature comforts, though, nah, it was pretty basic.
We're just moving along here. You can see this, like, really weird flap. I mean, what's that all about?
That's what we would know nowadays as the aircon system. It's just a small switch on the inside of the car that allows the flap to open and lets the air in.
Very sophisticated indeed.
Yeah.
I bet that makes all the difference.
Completely. Definitely does, yeah.
And just like, you know, coming around to the front here, it has got a really distinctive face, that elongated grille, super slim bumper.
It does, and it might look quite stylish, but it does have its problems. So the main one that we've got is when you're braking, they lock up on one of the front sides.
Is there anything else going on?
I'm glad you asked, actually, because if you look on the inside of the car,
Okay.
as you can see, there's a few issues with the carpet. They are so worn out now.
It's looking pretty tatty. It's a bit of a patchwork of different sort of materials there, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also the original, so it has been left for good 70 years. There's also issues with door cards as well. They're quite loose.
It's amazing to see a Ford Pop in such an original condition. We will really enjoy getting this car looking good, driving well, so that your kids can enjoy it in the future too.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
First up to take on this vintage number is trim expert Freya.
Wow, what a fantastic car.
She's been totally transforming cars like this for 7 years, but this Pop has copped a lot of wear and tear in its time.
Well, the seats, they're all good. They look really good, but I can see that the carpet's completely shot to pieces and the door panels have warped in places, so they're gonna both need replacing. So these cars were made really cheaply and everything about them is just really basic. These door cards are just a simple panel held on by a few screws. However, it's lasted the test of time, so you've got to kind of respect these cars for that.
Freya's going to do the tricky work herself, but with things like carpets, buying in a pre-made set is a better bet.
So I ordered this carpet for the Pop. It's a really good value option, so I'm really excited. It does look like there is a lot more carpet here than I took out, but that's great, because clearly there were some pieces missing. So this is just a test fit, because I know there's loads of stuff still to be done on the car, but I just want to make sure that everything fits. So they look really cool, but I'm just going to leave them in here for a little while so they can settle and all the creases can come out.
Next up, the damaged door cards. They're in a shocking state, but before they're binned, they've one last job to do.
So this is millboard. It's a really lightweight material, but it's still really rigid. So us trimmers use it for door cards and trim panels and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get the best door card, and it still fits really well. So I'm gonna use that as my pattern. So I need to remember to cut them out.
Freya marks up and hand cuts new door cards. Don't get too close to that blade. Then she drills down to make holes for the door and window handles. And a layer of scrim foam softens up the feel of the new cards.
Wow, this is a lovely colour, and it's going to match that interior really nicely. So I'm going to cut out a blank of vinyl using the door card as a rough guide, and then I can wrap that around the door card to make it. The idea is that I glue around the edges of the millboard and the edges of the vinyl, and then I'll wait for the glue to go off, wrap those edges round the board, giving it a slight tension as well, and then the door card will be finished.
Thick stick on the board, and the red finish of the new vinyl door cards complements the fresh carpets perfectly. With 15 years in the business, mechanic Hannah has worked on everything from vintage motors to the latest electric cars. But she's never worked on a Pop, so she'll need all that experience to tackle the dangerous brakes.
So this is the first time I've worked on a Ford Popular, and looking underneath it, you can see how basic and how simple the structure is and all the components around it. So the Ford Popular's got a really simple brake system. What we have is a rod that attaches to the back of this drum brake on the front here, goes all the way across. We've also got another rod that comes from the other wheel and it joins to this connector. Now, when you put your foot on the brake, the rod moves and then we'll move these rods. That then pushes the brake shoes, which you find in these brake drums, pushes them outwards to then make the car slow down. The problem is what you can get is a little bit of play in these joints, and they also need to be adjusted properly as well. So on this front one, what we've got is we've got quite a lot of play in this passenger wheel. So there's a lot of movement in that where there shouldn't be.
That spells danger for Gemma, a real worry when she often has her kids in the car too. Hannah needs to get this sorted ASAP to keep the family safe. At the repair lot, mechanic Hannah has found a dangerous problem with the brakes on Gemma's family saloon. She's never worked on a pot before, but she loves troubleshooting classic cars.
I've cleaned up the thread on here and undone the, basically a locking nut on there. So I'm going to adjust this rod and increase the tension on it, because when you brake, you want the front brakes to be balanced, and at the moment they're not. So when I take the slack out of this and increase the tension, then we'll have a more balanced brake. Stick it on. There we go. That's already taken the slack out of that.
Hannah repeats the fix on the rear brakes so they're properly balanced. Later, the team will give the pop a thorough test drive to make sure it can stop on a sixpence.
Last split pin in and that's all finished.
Next up is a badass lowrider, a Japanese custom classic with some ugly issues. Charlie is here to assess how to bring back the bling.
Whoa! Cameron, nice to meet you.
Hello, how you
Welcome
doing?
to the workshop.
Thank you.
This is low, this is long, and this is a car that I have never seen before. What is it?
Yeah, so these were only sold in Japan. It's a 1980 Toyota Corona.
Is it the only one in the UK?
To my knowledge, yet I haven't been able to find another one. They're all the UK version here.
So do you know much about the car's history, you know, when it lived over in Japan?
Kind of. I've got a folder full of paperwork for parts. Obviously, it's all in Japanese.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know what it was used for. I don't know really where or how far it went. I know it's done a lot of miles. I know it was resprayed in Japan. You can still find bits of the original paint dotted around.
Yeah.
It was like a dark green. The wheels I've changed. I've done everything on those myself.
Wow, I mean, you know, for such a kind of big, beefy car, there's some seriously intricate detail in this work that you've done.
Thank you. I engraved them myself, same with the steering wheel. Mechanically, it's been doing great, except for recently it's thrown a few niggles, but I don't blame it. But mainly it's the physical side of it. It's starting to show its age. For example, with the interior, the dash, unfortunately, with Japanese summer being so hot, they always crack. And these cracks are more like canyons. It would just be nice to have them smoothed over and maybe something over the top.
We'll get Freya, who works in our trim shop, to take a look at this. Have you got any preferences in terms of like the colour or anything like that?
Just something that matches with the age and the style.
Is there anything else you wanted to tell me about?
Yeah, so if we move to the front, because it's low, it's hit the ground a lot on the front splitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
spot that
it's
before.
only fiberglass, so
Yeah.
it can only take so much abuse. It's had some damage since it came from Japan. It had some sort of crash. I'm not sure how, but the bumper's twisted and the rubber's come away.
And the thing is, with a repair like this, on such a rare car, it makes it even more difficult because, you know, sourcing parts and things like that, it's going to be quite tricky, isn't it? So the team
Yeah.
really have got their work cut out.
This cool custom is seriously let down by the badly cracked dash and damaged front end. Both big jobs that will take a lot of time and skill to sort. It's car trimmer Freya who is first up to work on the trashed Toyota dash,
Oh, awesome.
removing it to restore on the bench.
What I'm going to do is sand all these raised bits down, then I'm going to fill it and then sand it smooth, and I'll be able to recover it then.
That's a full-on job just to get the dash up to scratch on Cameron's car.
So this is the filler that I use. It's a two-part multi-purpose filler. Mix the parts together and I should be able to fill all these cracks. And when it's dry, I'll sand it all down and I should have a nice smooth surface. I'm pushing it gently into the crack because any excess that is on there, I'll sand off at the end. So I've already done quite a lot of work to this dash, but I'm not even halfway through. I've put the filler in, I'm going to leave it overnight to cure, and then I'll get on with sanding tomorrow.
Next day, and once the Toyota dash has been sanded back, Freya is ready to recover the restored base.
So I'm now going to cut out some calico blanks, which are oversized pieces to fit all of these different sections. I'm then going to lightly tack them one by one onto the dash with some glue. I'm then going to cut them out to all of these lines. Once I've done that, I can add some little pitch marks, which are my sewing points, so I know where everything lines up. And then I'll have a pattern ready to put on the vinyl.
The original dash was probably manufactured in minutes in Japan. This traditional retrim process uses craft skills Freya learnt as an apprentice.
So I spent a couple of years working at a car upholsterer's many years ago, and I was taught there how to make these patterns. And I've obviously over the years done many, many more to perfect them so that when I make the pattern and put it onto the vinyl, it comes out perfect. So that's the last of my 5 sections of calico pattern done. All I need to do now is carefully pull this off, pop it onto my vinyl, transfer this pattern onto the vinyl, cut it out, sew it up, and it'll be ready to go on.
That's a further day's work to get the repair lot standard finish she wants for Cameron's car. The front end of the Ford Pop is let down by a damaged number plate, so Bodywork specialist Jerry Lee decides to freshen it up.
So all these letters are individual, and they're held on by these fixings, which I'm going to try and ease off. They're a bit rusty, though. These are all very, very rusty and very difficult to move. So I'm just going to use some penetrating fluid to make it a little bit easier.
Jerry Lee decides she can reuse the damaged letter S using modern fast-acting glue to sort the split.
Today's letter is the letter S. S for see. We see with our eyes.
Then it's off to the spray booth.
Time for white.
With a fresh paint job on the plate, the back's now black. As soon as it's dry, Jerry Lee can bring the whole thing together.
Just writing down the number plate so I get it in the right order. Very professionally on my hand. Right, so we're going to put them back through the hole, clip them back in, and then attach these on the back.
Using the original style fixings, Jerry Lee hopes this number plate will now last another 70 years.
This is the last one. Yay! Looks lovely. Now I'm going to put it on the car. Yay! It looks great. It brings the whole car together. It really, really looks nice. It really makes it pop.
In the workshop, memorabilia expert Abby meets drag racer Steve. His classic skid lid has a very personal tale to tell, and he wants Abby's help to get it back in tip-top condition.
So, what have we got here then?
Basically, it's the first crash helmet that I ever had. It was given to me by my godfather. He was a motorcyclist, and when I told him that I wanted to start doing a little bit of drag racing, he basically gave it to me. But that was around about 40 years ago, so about 1980, 81. His name was Dave Packwood, a very generous man and a very kind man, and it was obviously a sad day when he passed.
Talk to me a little bit about the condition of it. What exactly does it need doing to it? Thank you. There we go.
First and foremost, to be honest with you, I like it cleaned up. It's got extremely dirty in the loft. The foam itself should be black rather than, well, I think it should be black anyway, but that's all stuff that I glued in and it's gone rock hard.
OK.
I'd love to keep all the original stickers.
OK, well, I definitely think that we can do that, and I think the team are going to be really excited to work their magic on this helmet. Well, I'm really excited to see what it's like when it's done, and also to see your face when you see it done. So that'll be great. Thank you so much.
That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So the pressure is on. We've got to get this thing looking really good, but without getting rid of some of the original heritage, because this means a lot to Steve.
Abby gives Jerry Lee the job of stripping away decades of dirt using industrial-strength professional cleaning compound.
So you want to apply it in small circles so that you can take off all the grit and the grime. This has actually come off great. You can already see a difference. That's a really nice grey. That's not the sound of clean. I don't know what is. Freya. Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
I have this fantastic, lovely helmet that I've got a super shine on.
It's so shiny.
It looks so shiny. Yes, but...
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's gonna need quite a bit of work. I've never retrimmed a helmet before. This is completely new to me, but leave it with me.
Great. I can't wait to see what you do with it.
Jerry Lee has got her hands full. Cameron's custom Corona is a real lowrider, and its chin spoiler has been damaged, dragging on the tarmac.
I have brought over all my fiberglassing stuff because this part is actually made out of fiberglass, and it's actually cracked before. They've tried to repair it, but not very well, sadly. So I need to really strengthen this up. To do that, I'm going to get some fiberglass matting. So the first thing I do before I do any fiberglassing is clean up the area with the angle grinder.
Airborne fiberglass is nasty stuff, so Jerry Lee masks up as she preps the surface for her new matting and resin to bond to.
The key to fiberglassing is always working really fast because this goes off quite quickly. You always want to make sure to get this on when it's still wet. Now we're gonna put the resin on to push it into place. It'll probably take about 30 minutes to an hour to fully go off. And then it'll be really strong.
The full chin spoiler fix will be a long time-consuming job, needing more fiberglass and then layers of filler to get the high-quality finish Jerry Lee demands before it's painted. While Jerry Lee is focusing on the front-end damage on Cameron's Corona, she decides to repair that bruised bumper.
I think I figured out why the bumper's been wobbling so much on the car. The mounting point seems to be completely out of place because it's missing a bolt just down here because it's attached by a cable tie. So once we remove that, hopefully we can get it back into place.
Whoever thought a cable tie would hold up a bumper clearly had a screw loose. Get rid of that cable tie, get the mount in place, and a fresh nut and bolt is how it should be done.
That should mean it will be in the right position now.
The bumper's been hanging on for dear life, taking a beating over the years, so Jerry Lee wants to reset the rubber.
This glue is really incredible. I can, once I squeeze it out, mix it together, it'll go super hard, super fast.
The glue goes off fast, so speed and accuracy are essential.
So to hold the rubber in place, I'm going to be clamping it down. Just wiping off any excess. Should be dry in about 2 hours.
Mechanic Derek is putting the final touches on the Ford Pop.
Brilliant. That is the interior complete.
Swapping out a damaged light lens is the last job to bring this 1950s car back to its best.
That's it, finished.
Now it's time to see if this 50s pin-up still holds up.
Oh. Find the gears. Although this is a small car, it's a really fun little car. We go to the shops, cruise around little places, take the children out. Let's try these brakes. It doesn't pull left to right or anything. Much safer.
With the brakes sorted and the interior made over, the Pop is now ready to live its best life. Today, Gemma is on her way to be reunited with her family Ford. The 70-year-old Pop had terrible brakes, making it a really dangerous drive. And that shabby interior, well, her classic car-loving kids weren't fans.
Hey, Gemma.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good,
nice
thank
to see you.
you.
Do you
And
hug?
you?
How have you been?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Have you had a Ford Pop gap in your life?
Yeah, we're missing it now. Ready to get it home.
Well, I'm not going to make you wait any longer. I'm going to take the cover off and we're going to talk through what work's been done and have a look at that interior.
OK. Oh, God, shiny. It does look so good.
So I know you're absolutely desperate to check out the interior.
I am.
So do you want to go and have a look?
Yes, thank you. Oh, wow, it looks so different. I can't believe how much the carpet has just made it look completely new.
It was really tatty when you bought it here, wasn't it?
It was. And the door panels as well are amazing.
So that's thanks to Freya. She's completely rebuilt these. So these are bespoke made to fit perfectly. And she's covered them in this really beautiful, kind of really deep red vinyl, which obviously matches the carpets and the original seats.
It does. I was a little bit worried with the colour. I thought it was going to clash, but it does. It looks almost original, really. It does. It looks great.
So Hannah, our mechanic, when she was checking the braking system, she had a look at the drum brakes that are on each of the 4 wheels. They just weren't adjusted properly, so she's fixed it, and it all works really well now, so you can stop the car when you want it to.
Good, that would be really good, especially when I've got kids in the car, because you don't have to give yourself like 20 metres braking distance, you know, to prepare yourself.
And the final thing is Jerry Lee has completely refurbished this number plate.
Wow. It definitely looks brand new, doesn't it? It just makes the car look so much more alive. I honestly didn't expect it to look as good as it does look. So yes, thank you to everybody. I didn't realise how many people were going to be involved in the progress of the pop, but I'm absolutely amazed with the work that they've managed to do. They've done a great job.
Gemma's heading back to her kids, who are looking forward to more days out in Poppy.
Feels good. I'm so happy to have it back. Can't wait to take it for a nice long drive, and it feels amazing already.
In the spray booth, Jerry Lee is working her magic on the Toyota chin spoiler, which has gone from split and scraped to smooth and shiny in a coat of deep brown. Talk about a transformation. It looks like a brand new custom part that's arrived for the Corona.
I cannot believe that it is the same part. I've done so much work to it. Now it doesn't wobble all over the place like it did before. It's got a fantastic coat of paint, and I can't wait to get it back on the car now. This should hopefully go on quite easily. It's all been lined up.
Jerry Lee learnt her skills on milk floats. Looks like she's got a big future in the custom car world too.
Yay! It's back on and it looks fantastic. I love it.
Freya has been cracking on with the race helmet restoration. She's stripped the foam liner out and been making a pattern for a new black inner cover.
It's been really fun to do. Quite excited to see how it turns out.
The old helmet was in a bad way, so Freya had little to go on. But she's hoping her research is right and the inner cloth section she's sewn works.
So I'm super nervous about sticking this back in because I've got to get it in the right place for it to actually work. And having never done one, it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
The glue sets hard, fast. So if this isn't perfect, then Freya will have to bin the new cover and start again.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Seems to fit really nicely. So now I need to put these custom foam inserts into this liner. They're going to be completely bespoke for this helmet, so I'm going to cut them all down so they fit perfectly.
The foam is high-quality trimmer's foam, designed for show, not go. This race helmet isn't destined to ever see a track again. It's going to have pride of place as Steve's home.
So I've got all of the foam inserts put in, and it seems to sit really nicely. Now I need to try it inside the helmet and see how it looks.
For maximum safety, the helmet liner has to be a snug fit.
Little bit of a struggle.
It's giving Freya a good arm workout as she wrestles it into place.
Here we go. It's in. So just a bit of wiggling about to get it sitting in the right place. I think we're just about there. I think this is coming together really nicely. Really pleased.
This morning, Abby welcomes back Steve, who brought in a wrecked race helmet given to him by his godfather. It was the first time Freya had ever restored one, and it gave her quite a fight. Has she delivered what Steve wanted?
So I'm hoping that they've done a good job of restoring it, but not overly restoring it. So I want to see all the history still with my crash helmet.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you, and you. Thank you very much.
Are you excited?
I am a bit, yes.
Are you ready to see it?
I think I am, yeah. Yes, please, if you would.
Okay. Ta-da!
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. It's immaculate, isn't it? I've kept the stickers, which is obviously something I was really concerned about because I knew if you're going to clean it, that's why I didn't want it repainted. Should I take it off the head?
Yes. Have a look inside.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. What do you think to the inside?
Yeah, it's really clean now, isn't it? It's a lot better.
Yeah, so Freya's actually taken out the old foam and all the old interior and replaced it with new foam, and she's reupholstered the full thing.
Yeah.
Took quite some time to do, but I think she's done a really good job, do you think?
Yeah, she has. I'm really pleased. It's a very good job. Oh, it's lovely, yeah.
Is it bringing back some memories looking at it in this state?
Yeah, the whole situation has brought back memories of my godfather and stuff because, as I say, he was a really good friend of the family, and digging out some old photos that I have and just remembering the old days, etc., has brought a smile back to my face.
Really pleased that you're happy with it.
Yeah, I am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Done an absolutely excellent job. I'm very pleased with it. Not overly restored. They've kept the history of it. It's exactly what I wanted.
There's no rest for Freya. She's now flat out recovering the Toyota dashboard.
It's quite precise because if I get it wrong, trying to get the material back off the dash would be quite tricky.
She's cut and sewn 5 sections of brown vinyl together, and now she's gluing it to the old dash base.
I'm using quite a lot of physical strength to ensure it goes right, which is not right now, so. It's just not sitting where I want it to, so it's not sitting far enough forwards.
Freya has a race against time to manipulate the cover into position before it glues hard in the wrong place.
It's also a really odd shape, so it's really hard to get it where I need it to be. But sadly, I'm gonna have to put it all off again, because it's not set right at all.
Second time lucky, Freya tries again to get the new vinyl cover to sit right on the old dash base.
Yes, there's a little wobble how it was sitting, but I've reset it and it seems to be going on a lot better this time round.
Tricks of the trade to get the perfect final finish, a heat gun. And a steamer, so Freya can get that factory look she wants. It's taken days, but at last, it's ready.
So, this is a bit fiddly to get back in, but that's gone in really well, actually. Let's just see. When that goes in there, it's going to look amazing.
Today, Cameron has returned to see if the cracks on his Corona are cured. This Japanese one-off arrived at the repair lot carrying the scars of a front-end accident and deep cuts in the dash caused by the blazing sun. Has this lowrider now gone to the next level?
Hey, Cameron. How have you been?
How you doing?
Have you missed a car?
I've missed it so much. I've missed it every single day, just getting on the bus, thinking, I wish I was in my car.
Well, it's time for the big reveal. I'm not going to make you wait any longer.
Awesome. Oh, wow. That is incredible. Wonderful. Oh, wow. That's incredible. That is amazing. This is perfect. I'm so glad that it came out so well.
So you like how it matches up with everything?
Beautiful. It's exactly how I hoped it would be. Perfect. This line here it follows the dash so perfectly. It looks like it came from the factory like this, but it wasn't this nice.
All hands done.
This
I
nice.
can guarantee a lot of hours went into that.
That is just incredible. It just makes it look so much tidier. It was that one part that really made it look like an old car that had done so many miles. It ties it all together with all the smooth interior and all that. It's perfect.
So there was quite a lot of damage to that bumper, wasn't there? Jerry took the bumper off, it's all been remounted and it's on there nice and securely now.
It's beautiful.
And you'll also notice that the chin spoiler as well, that's all been tidied up. She had to remove that. And obviously, because it's fiberglass, it's not the strongest of materials, so it's been strengthened and it's been resprayed and refitted. So all looks really neat and tidy. Just be careful when you're driving it, because it's pretty low to the ground.
That is the one issue. I can't believe the paint job. It's so well matched. It looks better than new. No, I've truly never seen the car like this. It's amazing. The front end is transformed completely. I know these are small pieces that maybe someone else might not notice, but for me, from the day I got the car, I've seen these pieces and they've stuck out like sore thumbs. So to see them all gone and smooth and be replaced with not just better, but amazing work and looks, it's wonderful.
Is there anything that you want me to pass on to everyone in the workshop?
Just the most tremendous thanks. They've really, really changed the way I feel about this car now. Really, really, really big deal.
So the lowrider leaves with Cameron on a total high.
Feels great. Feels good. It feels really good looking out the front and seeing that, just that handicraft, that work. It's amazing that there's people with this much talent still out there. People say it's hard to find good work, but clearly these are the people you want to be going to.